Bushcraft 412, and one last review of the night. I wasn't going to do this tonight, but hey, why not? Got a little spare time. Well, this right here is the Eton FR360 Solarlink Radio, I think is the exact name. As you can see, this one has an LL Bean tag on it. Eton, the company that makes these, frequently sells these to different companies, and they put their own tags on them and sell them in their stores. This one has happened to get an LL Bean outlet locally, and kind of an expensive item. I believe it was in the neighborhood of like $40 or so, but not a bad little item at all. I actually use this quite a bit for backpacking. I know it's kind of heavy for backpacking, but I really do enjoy bringing it and having the music out on the trail, and plus it's a nice item to have around the house for storms or any kind of disasters or anything like that, knowing you're going to have a flashlight and a windable flashlight and radio at all times. So let's get into the features of this neat little thing. First and foremost, this is a windable radio as well as a flashlight. It has a regular LED flashlight and a red blinking kind of distress light. So, neat feature there. It has a solar panel on top, which you can charge it on, as well as the windable, dynamo that you can charge with. I find that the dynamo doesn't charge the greatest. The solar, on the other hand, you can actually leave it in a room that's this bright and it will charge on surprisingly little light. I've actually been pretty impressed with the solar charging. It doesn't need to be in direct beaming sunlight. You can just kind of use the regular ambient outside light for it to run, which is really cool. When you're using it, you can select between the battery, the dynamo or solar powered, and they are separate. This does carry regular batteries in the back. I'll show you this real quick. It carries your regular 3 AA's in the back, plus the rechargeable battery, which is the dynamo cell. So they're separate. So you can actually use both. You don't just have to use one. And you can select between the two of them. So if it is a nice sunny day, you can set it on the dynamo and solar, or use your battery if you don't want to deal with that. You charge it using this cell button here. You would put it in the cell, and then you can wind it and charge it. And a little green LED will appear in here to show you that you're charging it. Kind of neat. Function-wise, it has AM/FM radio, and it is 7 weather bands, and it is also we'll turn this on. Let's make sure we're on the right setting here. Alright. There we go. FM radio. It is a digital tuner. So as you turn it, you can turn by, as you can see, you can tune it digitally. It's not one of the older style, which I think is really cool. Of course, AM. It's the same with the AM. The tuner is digital. And then as you get into the weather bands, it's the same thing with them. All digital tuning, very cool. Lighted display. Also another neat, cool option. This is a very fully featured wind-up radio. Let's shut this back off so we can hear. Very fully featured, which is really cool. But you're talking, this is a $40 wind-up radio, not a dollar store special that's like $5 or $10 at a sporting goods store. This is pretty high-end. Really cool item. And the real fun of this item, this is going to be fun to do one-handed, is it does also have a, in the back here, it has a USB port where you can plug in your phone. Really cool. As well as a DC in, so you can plug it into the wall to charge. You don't have to use the solar and the crank. If you want to charge the cell, you can buy, it sucks because you do have to buy it separate, but you can buy a DC plug to plug it into the wall. And over here you have a headphone jack and an audio in line, or maybe it's audio out, I'm not sure what it is, I've never used it, but it's an audio line, for one for headphones and the other I think maybe it's for like an iPod or something. But I've never used it, not sure exactly how that works. But I think this is I use this for backpacking a lot, and this has actually got a lot of trail miles on it, which I'm really impressed with how good it's held up, because I've used this in some really wet and nasty conditions, and I've worried a couple times where I woke up in the morning and it's just been pouring, and this thing is just soaked, and it just keeps on working, no problems. I've also taken it winter camping, and it performs really good in the winter. The batteries do go a lot quicker in the winter, but that's a fact of life. Nothing wrong with the product there. As for a good thing to have around your house, I think these are pretty neat, because if there ever is that storm, the power goes out, or any kind of long-term, what hits the fan scenario. This is just a cool item to have around the house, because you have that communication, you have, radio and music and things like that, and it can really kind of, lift your spirits when you're going a long time without power. And even when you're on the trail too, you're on the trail a long time and you go without music and things like that, it really can kind of wear on your spirits. Having something like this with you, even though it is, pretty heavy and pretty bulky, it's nice at night to be able to have this and sit down next to a fire and listen to some music. And likewise, I like having this around the house, because I know if there is ever a bad storm or something like that, I do have access to the radio and to the weather band as well, which I do like having that weather band. Really good feature for backpacking, because you can listen to it every night and know what you're going to be getting into the next night and plan accordingly. I really wish they had a compact model that was much smaller but of the same quality. But at the time they didn't have one. I know they're out there, but I just, they didn't have one when I bought it. But this is actually not a bad little item, and I do not mind the extra weight and the extra bulk when I'm backpacking with it. For car camping, it's perfect. It's just right for car camping. So, great little item, and just wanted to share that with my subscribers as a neat little item for, if you're a prepper, it's a great item to have around the house. If you're a backpacker, it's a great item to bring with you, and if you're into that sort of thing, it's just a neat little item to have. It's a tad expensive, I know it's not cheap gear, but just very cool. I wanted to share it with everyone because it is one of my favorite pieces of gear. Hope you enjoyed Bushcraft 412, and this is once again the Eton. Let me look. I said it before. I think it's the Eton. Let's give you a look before we get out of here. Eton FR360 Solarlink. There you go. Have a good one, guys. Hope you enjoyed.